Audio Jungle.
My son would tell you that he's never seen me have so much fun. The Zeelander, number one, is just the most incredible boat I've ever seen. The ability to operate it, but also every time you stop, people are taking pictures, waving at you, thumbs up. It's a beautiful boat.
Yeah.
We stay on the boat. We sleep on the boat. It's very comfortable. It's got very quiet. The air conditioning's perfect. It's I have satellite TV and good music, and it's just an incredible boat to be on.
Yeah.
My wife and I are currently building a home in the Bahamas, and one afternoon we're walking along the pier, and the blue Zeelander shows up, and I told my wife, I said, "My gosh, what is it?" I said, "I've got to see it." So we went out and we looked at it. It was love at first sight. I saw it. I asked them to take me for a ride. They took us back to the airport on the boat, and I just, from that moment on, pursued. I asked them, I said, "How do I find the Zeelander people?" So I talked to them. We made a financial purchase, and the progression goes from there. We bought the 44, and immediately I was informed by the insurance company that I needed to have a captain with me to drive the boat, since I didn't have ocean experience. I had a lot of boating experience, but no ocean experience. There's a lot of learning that's required. The first things that I worried about is, how do I go from point A to point B? How do I find my way? When I get out in the ocean, how do you know where you're going? How do you know how to get into a marina? How do you chart your course? How do you tie the boat up? How do you manage the tides and the winds? And so I've had to learn these things. And so I went to Chapman School of Seamanship in Florida. I got a certificate. I hired the head of the school to spend a week with my wife and me. So I got another certificate, and then I got some experience. And then the captain from the seamanship school wrote the insurance company, told them I was qualified. They removed that restriction, and off we went. Matter of fact, the first trip we took, we were in Fort Lauderdale. We took it down to Little Palm Island, down in the Florida Keys, which is quite a long way.
Yeah.
And docked the boat, tied it up, enjoyed the weekend, drove it back. Spectacular. So we've enjoyed every minute of it, and traveled quite a bit for the period of time we've owned it. And I realized pretty quickly that wouldn't it be nice to have a little bit bigger one? And so that takes us to the interest in the 55. I had talked to Sitza Koopsman about his interest in building the 55, and I told him, I said, if you want to build the 55, if you want to start pretty soon, I'd like to have hull number one. And for a multitude of reasons, one of which we're building a house in the Bahamas, so it would become my home during the process. But also I realized that the 55, having in effect 3 bedrooms, 2 nice staterooms and a bunk room, that I could take another couple. So I could take a crew or a captain with me if I wanted to, or I could take 3 more guys and go on a golf trip. We came here to see the boat in progress, and they've put the interior in, and it's absolutely beyond my imagination. It is so beautiful. But not only the interior, but to see the layout of the boat, to see the engines, to see the other parts of the boat as it's being produced, is just spectacular. It is an incredible boat. It will look just like the 44. It's just 30% or 27% bigger, which doesn't sound like much, but it's a much bigger boat. Even though when you say it's 27% bigger, that doesn't sound like much, but it also weighs twice as much. It has much more volume, and it has some other features that are pretty unique that I'll find very beneficial. One of which, it has a garage for a tender, and a tender comes with it. So that in the Bahamas it's shallow. Where we go, it's fairly shallow. In many cases, it's hard to get up close to the dock. of some of the restaurants or some of the places you want to go. So it's easy to tie onto a mooring buoy or anchor out and get the tender out. It has a nice tender garage, you slide it out, and then you can tender over to your destination. Adds a degree of fun and utility that wasn't there. It also has another feature that I find particularly interesting, is it has a stern docking station, so that when you're docking, you're actually sitting on the back of the boat and can see what you're doing very well. You can also toss a line out if you need to, if someone's on the dock. It also has the DPS, which allows you to cause the boat to sit still in one position. So it's another convenience that even the 44 doesn't have, and that just makes the boat a dream for two people to handle. Matter of fact, my wife says that every conversation I have ultimately gets back to my boat. So you know, some people talk about themselves, I talk about the boat. She can drive it. She likes to drive it. She can dock it. And basically, she drives a boat and I tie it up. She's truly a partner in the boat. She likes it, and she's done the interior design. And she's picked out the woods. It's a white oak design with some soft brown leathers and accent pieces. And it looks very, very nice. It's beautiful craftsmanship. The woods, the moldings, everything about it is so untypical of boats. It's been described as a super mini yacht, and it truly is. It has all the quality of a 200-foot yacht built into a 55-foot boat, and it's just spectacular. I think on this size boat to be able to make choices is very unique.
Yeah.
We've been able to make the selections. It's truly going to be our boat. We've put the equipment on it. We've selected the interior. It really will have our personal stamp on the boat. It's a wonderful experience. They've gone out of their way to make sure we're involved in every decision on the boat, and so we're on the phone a lot with the management of Zeelander, talking about different aspects of the boat and whether we want this or that, and there's a sink or the faucet or the refrigerator or even the satellite TV or the Wi-Fi system or all the equipment. We've been working through all that together, and even though they could have built the boat beautifully without our input, they've allowed us to select the things we want to make it really a personalized boat. The 55 will take us just about anywhere. The 44 rides beautifully. We've made several ocean crossings from Florida to the Bahamas. It's very easy. It's a very comfortable ride. The 55 will even be better. So we're excited about it. So I think we'll continue to explore. It gives you a great deal of freedom. It opens up so many opportunities. Well, being hull number one, and I had to talk Zeelander into that because clearly they wanted a boat to show. And they wanted their first 55 to be available to show the boat, take it to boat shows, and I told them they absolutely can do that with this boat. The Zeelander was something that affected me from the moment I saw it. And without question, the beauty of the boat is just amazing. It's beautifully engineered. It's very quiet. When you're running at full speed, you're still, the boat's very quiet. There's no vibration. It's just a dream. There's almost too many wonderful things about it to mention all of them. I tell everybody about my boat.